Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I have 5 paper squishy ideas for you. I figured I would do it this way going forward to see if you'd like it, me doing like a whole bunch of them at a time to give you different ideas to make paper squishies. So many people come to me and ask me like, can you do more paper squishies like every single day? And I figured that this will be a great way to put out more ideas but with like less videos, so hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully this is going to give you a bit of inspiration. So all 5 paper squishies today are fruit based. I love them. I think they're all so adorable. I've done them a little bit differently, so hopefully you can, follow along. I have listed the pens, the exact colours that I've used, just in case you've purchased the same pens that I have. After my last video I spoke about them a little bit and I've seen quite a few of you have bought them, so I thought I would leave the exact colours on the screen because they do have names on these pens, so it's a little bit easier. Anyway, I'm just going to get straight on into the video. If you do end up making any of these, be sure to tag me on Instagram, as I will repost you on my stories when I eventually get around to it. And yeah, that's all I got to say, so I'm just going to get straight on into the 5 paper squishy ideas for today's video. So for the first fruity tooty kind of paper squishy, I did a pineapple. I used the colour denim blue to draw out the oval shape for the main body, and then did the spiky bit of the green bit of the pineapple on top. I then filled in kind of like a highlighted shaded area in this colour, which is kind of like a dark yellow, and it was called cantaloupe orange, but it kind of came out like a really nice dark yellow. I then used the colour sapphire yellow to draw a crisscross kind of grid design across the whole thing, including that shadowed area. Next, I used the colour lemon yellow and coloured in each one of those squares individually. I did like the 4 lines around it to make sure I wouldn't go onto that like lighter colour, and then I shaded them in just using, that lemon yellow. I made sure to go over all of the squares, including the ones that were also had that like shadow bit on, so I made it like the grid was still in that shadow bit so that you could still see the darkness, but that shadow bit was still there. The reason doing the shadow bit is just because I wanted these paper squishies to be a little bit more in depth, a little bit more kind of 3D looking like, so I tried to do a shadow on all of my paper squishies. To make the green in this kind of like shadowy effect, I used the colour chartreuse green, I don't know, the darker green, and then I use this apple green to colour the rest of them in. To put the faces on the paper squishy, I just used a black Posca pen. I usually use a black permanent marker such as a Sharpie, but I can't find it. My desk is an absolute mess and I couldn't find it when making these, so I thought I'd just use the Posca pen instead. I like to use a different pen compared to the ones that I use for colouring, just because I find that when using the ones I use for colouring, it can sometimes like blend into them, so I always try and use a different pen. That's why I recommend a permanent marker usually. To put the rest of the details on, I just used an acrylic paint and a barbecue skewer just to use it for like, the blush, the tongue, and then white for the highlight of the eyes. I find this just makes it stand out way much more. It makes it look like you've made loads of effort when really you've just done a couple of dots of paint. It just brings it to life. I then covered the whole of the paper squishy front in tape and then just cut it out by folding the piece of paper back on itself, so that I was able to cut out the front and the back piece at the same time. I left a little bit of a tab, as you can see here, so that like the 2 pieces would stay joined as I taped them together. To tape around the spiky bit at the top of the pineapple, I put tape on the front, overlapped over the edges, and then cut it back to the paper so that I had like little tabs of tape. I then folded them around to the back, just like little bits of tape rather than big pieces. I did this all the way around like I do on all of my other paper squishies, and that's basically all the tips that I have for taping. You'll then want to stuff your paper squishy with whatever filling you have, so I used a combination of toy stuffing and shredded memory foam, which is just left over from the offcuts of making my memory foam squishies. So now that I've gone through the first one really in depth for you, I'm just going to leave you with like some music or whatever for the other 4 designs, just so you can see how that I drew them and stuff, and I've basically explained how I taped them and stuffed them so many times before, so I figured doing it this way would be a lot quicker and a lot better for you guys. So yeah, I'm just going to move on to the other 4 designs and meet you back here once I have shown you them. Okay, so this is all 5 of the designs together. We've got the pineapple there, which is obviously the one that I showed you how to do completely. Just that when making these, make sure that you use the same technique on all of them. You know, stuff them, tape them around the edges, yada yada yada, you know how they go. But yeah, these are the designs. I hope that you like them. I really, really like the blue outline. I think it just looks a little bit more different. I usually do like a black outline or no outline at all. I was started off doing a black outline, and actually I thought a blue one would work perfectly, because you know on Instagram when you see like digital kind of images and stuff drawn, I always prefer a blue outline rather than a black one. I just think it looks a little bit less kind of in your face and a little bit more subtle. I didn't do the backs of mine just because I'm lazy, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. I mean, it's not going to affect it at all, you might prefer to do that. On some of mine I do, most of them I don't. Squishiness wise, mine all will squish the same. Real nice. This is why I like to do paper squishies, because it's not only therapeutic to sit down and just draw them when watching a movie, getting creative, you then get to squish them at the end. So it's like a double winner. You get to draw something cute and you then get to squish them. This one here is probably like the best one for squishiness because it's so chunky. Look at that. I always fill mine with a combination of toy stuffing and memory foam, just because they're the two bits that I always have. Just toy stuffing left over from plushes, and then obviously the memory foam scraps from making memory foam squishies. Otherwise it would end up going in the bin, and I'd rather use it for something rather than, you know, nothing. With this little peach, looks like it's got a little sad face. Picked it up the other day, I was like, oh no, I put a sad face on it, but I didn't, had it the wrong way around. So that is the end of today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know which one of the paper squishies was your favourite. I've decided mine's either the pineapple or the peach. I really, really like both. I can't quite decide. I love the colour of the peach, but then the pineapple, it's so cute, you know. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up before you leave, and I will see you very soon for another one. Bye.